Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to take you along with me as I make some of my favorite oatmeal protein bars. They're so delicious. They're so easy to make. They're packed full of protein. These ones happen to be vegan, but you can really put whatever you want into them. You don't have to bake them. You don't have to do anything like that. I just put them in the refrigerator and they're ready to go. So the ingredients you're going to need for this recipe in particular is going to be oats, protein powder. This is the one that I use. This is my absolute favorite protein powder. This is the MRM Veggie Protein with superfoods. I like the vanilla flavor. I have tried a crazy amount of protein powders over the last decade, well over 20 different protein powders, and this is the only one that I've ever liked, and I've been using this for about 10 years. So I speak very highly of it. It's just such a nice taste. It doesn't leave any gritty flavor or anything or texture in your mouth. It's just a lovely natural vanilla flavor. And then you're also going to need some chocolate chips. I've got the Simple Truth organic semi-sweet chocolate chips just because these ones didn't have milk in them. And then I also have maple syrup here. I do base this recipe that I've been using for quite some time off of another recipe that I found online. So I will find that recipe and link it in the description for you as well so that you can see the original. But I have some maple syrup here. This is the just private selection pure maple syrup. And then we're also going to use some peanut butter. I just could find the regular old Jif peanut butter. I personally don't like the crunchy, so I just have the creamy. You could also use almond butter or whatever else you wanted, but we're using peanut butter today. You are going to need some sort of vessel to spread out your bars into. We've got a bowl to mix all of our major ingredients, and then another bowl that is microwave safe to mix some of our wet ingredients. I will also be putting all of the measurements and everything. They are loose measurements, keep that in mind. So I'll be putting all of the loose measurements down in the description for you guys. I will be doubling the recipe today myself because they're too good and I go through them too quickly. So I'm going to double it for myself today, but I will put my normal recipe down below for you so that it's just an easier size if you don't want so much. But if you love it like I do, then, make however much you want. But we're going to start with our oats. I'm going to mix our wet stuff, or excuse me, this isn't wet. I'm going to mix our dry stuff first. So normally I would be using 1.5 cups. But today, since I'm doubling it, I'm going to be doing 3. And like I said, this is a no bake, no nothing. Just easy. Okay, I already forgot how many I put in here. This little scooper is a 1/2 cup, so I need to do 6 of these. Now we're going to add our protein powder. For this, I just do 2 scoops of the protein powder, so I'll be doing 4 today. And for this particular protein powder, that is going to include 150 calories for each scoop, 22 grams of protein, and then all kinds of other stuff. I'll have it on the screen for you here so that you can kind of read through this if you're interested. None of this is sponsored in any way. This is just something that I personally love so much. Now for the fun part, we're going to be adding our chocolate chips. Ooh. Now for this, I have no idea. Let's just vaguely measure. I just pour them in till it looks good. You know what I mean? So let's put 1 cup in there. Your discretion on the chocolate chips, okay? It's your discretion. I ended up putting the whole bag in here because this is going to be so much. And there are going to be a lot of chocolate chips in here. But if it's going to be healthy, it needs to also be tasty. So that's kind of part of this whole deal. We have our microwave safe bowl. Don't know what this guy was doing over here. What you're going to need for my original recipe, what I would have you do, in addition to your 1.5 cups of oats, your 2 scoops of protein powder, however much chocolate chips you want to put in there, I would have you do 1 cup of peanut butter and about 3/4 cup of maple syrup. And if you wanted to add an extra spoonful or 2 of peanut butter in addition to that cup that you put in there, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just going to kind of help keep everything together. You'll see what I mean at the end. But let's go ahead, and this is a fresh thing here. I was really hoping that was going to be a little bit more satisfying than that. We've got our measuring cup, a full cup. Today I will be doing 2. Hopefully that fits. I might have to do this whole thing just one douse at a time. So when I say like a full cup and a little bit extra, like an extra spoonful or two, this is kind of what I'm talking about. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some maple syrup in here. And for this, if you're doing a regular amount, I would be doing about 3/4 of a cup of maple syrup. I wanna say the original recipe called for like half a cup, but I found that it was just too dry of a bar for me. It just kind of crumbled apart. So I needed a little bit extra juice, if you will. So before I put this into the microwave, I do like to give it a little bit of a pre-mix, and then we will be putting it in the microwave. I would put it in there for increments of like 10 seconds, 8 to 10 seconds at a time, pull it out and give it a good stir. And I would just do that until you can get it nicely stirred together. Okay, so now it's all heated up here. Our little peanut butter and maple syrup concoction is all heated up and nice and mixed up. I'm gonna go ahead and give our dry mix one last mix. Okay. That shouldn't be so good, but it really is. I kind of get why people put peanut butter on their pancakes now. It's all coming together. But anyway, now all we're going to be doing is putting our wet into our dry and mixing it all up. All right, we have our mixture, our granola bar mixture all together. Now we have our dish. Any kind of dish you want, it doesn't matter the shape. It doesn't really matter the size. I guess it does. You want it big enough so that you can spread it out so that it's the thickness that you want. I'm just gonna dump it in here. Oh no, I have unmixed stuff here. Now, like I said, for these bars, you could really do whatever you want for them. You could add like shaved coconut would be really delicious. You could add nuts, you could add cranberries, you could do whatever you wanted. And at this point too, after you have your main bar mixture all laid out and pressed out how you want it and how you're happy with it. Mine's never super even and flat, but at this point you could really hide all of that if you wanted to, and you could do like a chocolate drizzle or like a raspberry drizzle, any sort of something on top if you wanted to. Here we have it all pressed out, and now this is just going to sit in the refrigerator for, I don't know, about an hour or so, and then you'll be able to cut it up into serving size amounts and it'll be delicious. All right, it's been about 20 minutes or so, so they're nice and firmed up. Whoa, I've never made them so thick before. And the way I would describe the taste of these is almost like a Nutter Butter or something. Or do those have chocolate on them? What am I thinking of? A Butterfinger, almost like a Butterfinger. All right, I might be regretting making these so thick, but this is all just to your own personal preference when you make these. Okay, let me grab one of these inner pieces if I can, because it'll just look a little nicer. Okay, it definitely could have been in the refrigerator for a little bit longer before I took it out and cut it so that it kept its form a little bit better, but they look so good. Delicious. Now I will say they're too thick. I would recommend making them probably like half this thick. They're absolutely delicious. They taste like a really naughty treat, but they're actually pretty darn good for you. That's gonna do it for this video today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you make these. Let me know in the comments if you go ahead and try these, and let me know what you think, and let me know if you add any other fun ingredients.